Alright fools, so in a previous video talking about Strava, I said that Strava Premium had a cool feature, but I did think that one other app did it better.
But I'll say that there's another app that I use that I'll talk about in the future that I think shows something like this in a lot cleaner view.
Well, it's time to talk about that other app right now, and that app is PWR Lab. Now, I've been using PWR Lab for about a year now, about the same time that I've been using Strava, and though I do believe that Strava has a cleaner looking interface, if your goal is to perform at the highest ability without getting injured, then I do believe that PWR Lab is the way to go. Now, the P, the W, and R in PWR Lab stands for preparedness, wellness, and resiliency, which are the three pillars that PWR Lab believes are core to health and performance. And my favorite aspect of this app is that it takes, all the analytics in your running watch, such as distance, time, pace, power, stride or cadence. It takes all those analytics that you would normally get in an app like Strava and decides whether or not you're running, too much, too little, or not enough. And it puts it all in this cool little meter right here. So for example, I'm currently in the green, which means that I'm doing, just enough. As the app says, your volume and intensity are spot on for the amount of running you've been doing. Work on becoming slightly more consistent, hitting 3+ run days per week. Green means go. If your body feels good, then proceed with confidence. For example, if I were in the gray, it probably means that I'm not running enough for the app to make a good prediction. If I was in the yellow, it means that I'm probably doing just a little too much. And if I fell in the red, that means I'm doing way too much. I'm probably at a higher chance of injuring myself. So when you start, ideally you have about 30 days worth of data that the app can utilize. So for example, when I go to the calendar tab, you can see all the data that I've accumulated so far throughout the year, all right here. And so the cool thing is that PWR Lab takes all of this data, it crunches it inside of their algorithm, and it decides how much you are able to run, for how long, for what distance, for what time, all without getting injured. I think that's pretty cool. I think a good analogy of how this all works is like looking at a bank. You have a certain amount of money that you can use for runs. Some runs you are depositing money into the bank, and some runs you're actually withdrawing money. Ideally, you would want to be able to afford to pay for all the runs that you would want to do without going broke. And I think this app helps visualize that concept. Like with these green training sessions, I'm actually depositing some money. These yellow sessions, I'm withdrawing just a little bit of money. And with these red sessions, I'm actually withdrawing a ton of money. And that brings me actually to my next favorite part about this app, and that is the forecasting feature. And at least for me, this helps answer the question of, am I prepared to run this race? Or with the analogy, can I afford to run this race? Because I used to run cross country, I sometimes have the view in my head that I can run a certain distance, because I've done it before, not because I've actually been training for it. Like I've paid for this race before, but not because I've been saving money to do it. And of course, I'll go do the race and I'll get obliterated. Well, with this forecasting feature, that takes all that ridiculousness out of the picture. So you go to the forecasting function, and for example, I'll say today's the Friday the 21st. So I'll think, all right, next Saturday, I think there's a race coming up and I want to do the half marathon. So I'll plug in 12 miles. And luckily, I've actually been saving enough money to do this half marathon. Now, let's say I'm feeling a little overexcited and I say, they also have a marathon coming up too. Let me see if I can do that. And if I plug in 26 miles, boom, I'm actually in the red. That would mean that I'm withdrawing a ton of money. I would go broke if I decided to do the marathon. So instead, I decide to do the 12. I'm back in the green. I go ahead and save that. And now I've just made a better decision about my running future that will allow me to not get injured and hopefully increase my performance over time and allow me to, hopefully do that marathon later on down the line. This app isn't really saying that I can't run the marathon. Of course, PWR Lab is not the running police, but basically it's saying that you, in your current condition, have not done enough to run this marathon. You cannot afford to run this marathon. And if you do, you have a high probability of injuring yourself. So, it really puts the decision in my hands. It allows me to make a more informed decision on what I can expect without going in blind. And, those are the reasons why I do believe that PWR Lab is the smartest running app out there, at least that I've seen so far. So for this video, I've been showing you the desktop version, but know that there is a mobile app out there if you are an iOS or Android user. The app also only currently works for people using Garmin, Suunto, Polar, and most recently Coros watches. And I think it'd be cool down the line if they could also support Fitbit and Apple watches in the future. So if you're interested in trying out the app, there is a free trial that you can use. No credit card required. I'll put a link down in the description. Otherwise, it is about $15.99 a month, which I think if you truly are interested in running and increasing your performance while staying healthy, I do think it is a worthy investment if it does fit within your budget. And before I end this video, I do have to say that I know someone who works for this company, but no, I am not receiving any type of commission or kickback from anybody, clicking on the link or trying out the product. I do believe that this is a great product, and I didn't really want to open up with that first in case you guys would think that my opinion is skewed. I have been using this app, like I said, for about a year now, and I have been able to run at a higher degree without injuring myself like I have been in the past. And I do enjoy using this app a lot. So if you do want to try it, go ahead and click the link. Hopefully you guys already have a compatible device that you can use. And if you are enjoying the video, go ahead and click the subscribe button, click the like button, and if there are other apps that you would like for me to review, go ahead and leave a comment down at the bottom. Otherwise, thank you.